Hello beautiful souls and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another pick a card reading. Today we're connecting with the Goddess Athena for messages and guidance from her. Her energy came through really spontaneously. I was planning to do another reading, but she just came through and I knew I had to channel her. She has messages for you. So as usual, we have 3 piles. Pile number 1, number 2, and number 3. But before we get into the piles, I hope you didn't skip this, but you will probably see it in the timestamps. I do have a collective message as well. So the collective message is for all of you. When Athena came through, she showed me a circle with an X over it, which indicated a target. Actually, there were 2 circles. This indicated a target, and then she showed me 2 different types of arrows. One arrow, normal looking arrow as anyone would imagine. She said this is for attack. But the other arrow, it had a oval circular tip, so it couldn't actually wound. And she said this arrow is an arrow of peace. She was talking how this collective watching this reading, all of you are concerned or shall concern yourselves with your protection. You need to protect yourselves energetically, physically. It seems that this is very important. I think that this is why she was so insistent to come through. But it's interesting because there are 2 groups here. The first one, you will be protecting yourselves with the arrow for attacking. The sharp-edged arrow that you can shoot and hit your target, attack before you get attacked. For this group, she said that you've been very hesitant with your targets. You need to narrow your focus and you need to finally take action. This quote-unquote target could be any goal or objective you're afraid of going after, because maybe you think that people will come after you, maybe you think people will attack you for pursuing certain goals, and that's why she wants you to become a hunter, not a shooter, an archer who aims at their target bravely. For the other group, the arrow of peace, she was talking that for some of you, the best form of protection is making peace. And specifically, some of you need to make peace with the past, with ghosts from the past, because if you do not, these things from the past will attack you and you will become the target. Some of you have to make peace with certain people in your life currently, but she was basically explaining how you've been too angry to neither defend yourselves or attack. You've been doing none of it. There's anger and stagnancy. And the arrow of peace, she says, she's offering to those of you who simply need to let go, not necessarily take action, not necessarily do anything about a situation, but simply let it go. So this is the collective message. Now we're going to go into the piles again. Pile number 1, the deck in the pouch. I will be using oracle decks as well, so it's not just these decks you see that I'll be using for each group. So pile number 1, the deck in the pouch. I'm not going to reveal the deck. Pile number 2, this really vintage, lovely, my first ever tarot that I got. The Tarot de Marseille. Actually, I should flip it so we can read here the name. And for pile number 3, the Cosmic Slumber Tarot. The timestamps will be in the comment section below, as well as the description box. I will see you in your reading. Hi pile 1, for anyone who chose the deck in the pouch. Just a quick warning before we get into the reading. My cat. I was going to say my car. My cat woke up, so he may make some noises in the background. If you chose the pouch, this is gonna be your reading and your messages from Athena. Let's see what she has to say. she is showing me hills and like sacred sites on top of hills. She's saying that you do need to carve some sacred space for yourself in your apartment, a house, especially if you're sharing it with others. She's saying also to go to a hill if you wanna work with spirit and ask for certain things. She's saying you gotta get high. But it's good to be somewhere in nature, so not necessarily on the rooftop of a building or something, or like, you know, the terrace on the top of a building or something like that. No, she's saying you gotta go high in nature to connect with spirit if you need to ask for something. Yeah, some of you have things to ask for. She is showing me like a pouch that's very old. It looks very old, torn, fixed and then torn again, and it's empty, and she's showing me beggar's hands. So a lot of you have things to ask from spirit. She's saying it's okay to have moments of need, but she's also, Athena is a little fierce, I'm not gonna lie. Her energy is a little fierce, a little cutthroat. She's saying, why would you leave yourself in this situation? What did you do to get yourself in this situation? She's really asking this. That's the real issue. She's like, okay, spirit will help you. Spirit will always help you. Especially if you work with it properly and if you respect it, if you respect the deities, if you respect nature and the elements. But she is like, why do you let yourself get so far so that the only one you could ask for help is spirit? Oh my god. Probably most of you won't be able to translate. These cards are in my native language, but here it says sacred space. Literally sacred space. This literally talks about an altar, creating an altar, visiting a temple or an altar or a sacred place. In order to establish a connection with the divine. And then we have Bastet with independency, and I have written here protection, daughter of Ra. A lot of you need to go to a hill because you need to get closer to the sun, okay? If you want gold and abundance and health, vitality, prosperity in your life, you need to be working with the sun primarily. You need to be connecting with the sun. So sunbathing can be really helpful to connect with the sun. I'm getting almost like give a hug to the sun, greet the sun, perhaps go watch the sunrise on a hill. And here it says, independence sits in the root of your strength and success. Or independence is your foundation for success and power. We have Aphrodite reversed, the goddess inside you. Alright. It seems like you guys have not been honoring the spirit inside you, your own spirit. And that's why you feel like you have to reach out to external spirits and deities. You haven't been working properly with your own higher self. Athena is saying you've been underestimating your own personal powers. She's really, I don't know why, but I keep seeing like, I keep having visions of that part of her mythology where she is born out of the head of Zeus or Jupiter, which that's why she is a goddess of wisdom and strategy. And despite being a female goddess, she is very balanced and she even has this masculine energy. And she is emphasizing your intelligence. You need to be using your intelligence to create abundance. You need to be um, taking good care of your relationship with your higher self. Maybe some of you have been running low on inspiration and ideas and motivations and visions, and that's because I'm literally seeing how there was a period in your life when you and your higher self were super close, like the bridge between your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, and your soul, your oversoul, that higher self that exists beyond and watches over you. It was very close to you. It was very close to you, very close to your physical body. So sort to say, you were embodying your higher self very, very, very closely. But she's showing me how this cord between your mental, emotional, astral bodies, those layers of your bodies that are still very close to your physical body in terms of shape and like how far they are expanding. And that cord, she's showing me a cord to the belly button, that cord between you, your core here, your incarnated self here, and your higher self has been stretching because your higher self has been like gas lifting up because you haven't been anchoring it lately. So this is the message here. You have to anchor this higher self. You gotta shorten the bridge between you and your higher self again. You have to put in this sort of work. Because she's saying that if anything is going in the wrong direction, or you feel like you don't have as much money, as much abundance, as much inspiration, you haven't been anchoring your higher self like you used to. You haven't been spending time in your sacred space like you used to. Maybe you've even been letting go of your independence. Maybe you've been letting go of your beauty and health with Aphrodite reversed. Maybe you've been doing this for love. Maybe for a relationship. You've been sacrificing other things. And that's why Athena is coming through a little fierce and a little furious. She's always fierce, but this time she's furious as well. She's like, you have to claim yourself back. You have to claim your spirit back. It seems like you've been very independent, but I truly believe it's some sort of relationship you've formed that has made you quite codependent, and even spiritually you've become codependent on external forces. And she's saying that there's nothing bad in working with different forces, but when you're not anchored, these forces can take advantage of you. So she emphasizes how anchoring your higher self first, so you're solid, a solid spiritual being, and then inviting and working with other deities, forces, and spirits. But anchor yourself first, because you may take on certain characteristics or even stories and relive them from the deities or beings you work with, or you ask for help, or if you work with the ancestors, you may unknowingly take on their life experiences and karma and relive it. Because when they're sending you energy, trying to send you gifts, trying to do things for you, they a little less or more they merge with you. So that's why when you're anchored, if your higher self is anchored, they don't merge with you. You have boundaries that they automatically respect. Let's pull the tarot cards. We have the Guardian, Woman of Crystals, or the Queen of Pentacles. Interesting. What messages should you receive from Athena? The Hierophant. Again, we have spiritual authority, spiritual connection, spiritual teachings and teachers. Pile 1. I'm getting this like, go back to your roots, go back to your origin story, go back to the beginning of your spiritual journey. You need to return and you need to reevaluate how you've evolved throughout your spiritual journey. And maybe you need to take a couple of steps back, because it seems like you knew and you felt like you were on the right track for so long, but somewhere along the way you got a little lost, and it can happen to the best of us. But with the Hierophant, return to what was natural to you on this spiritual journey. What came naturally to you? What gifts came naturally to you? The Sun. Oh my god. I am just... the cards are just speaking of what we already talked about, but like they're emphasizing it even more. So the Sun, yeah, you should work with the Sun if you want abundance. Okay, so Athena is showing me the Sun, but you know what she's showing me? It's almost like you're reaching for it and you're flipping a page. So she is talking about how the Sun is a library. Every star is a library of wisdom and information. So some of you need to be more centered with your information. Maybe there's been many distractions along your spiritual journey, many contradictions, and you've been confused and you've been dancing between different practices and teachings. But with the Hierophant, go back to what felt natural, not necessarily what was in your bloodline, let's say, because you're a spiritual being that has had so many lifetimes. You weren't one nation, one country, one religion only throughout your incarnations. You've come in touch with probably multiple cultures. So do what feels natural to you. And with the Sun, there's something about going back to information that uplifted you, spiritual texts that uplifted you. I feel like many of you forgot how to be teachers, that you had to be teachers. The Three of Pentacles, creativity, absolutely. Many of you forgot your origin stories, where you come from, how you came into your spirituality. Athena is like, remove distractions, come back to center. Perhaps many of you have forgotten your creativity as well along the teaching journey. Maybe you changed your ways of teaching too much, and perhaps there's something that doesn't quite sit right with you. On this new path or in this new phase of life. So do not be afraid to take a step back. I'm kind of repeating this, but I just say what comes through. And as it comes through, do not be afraid to take a step back, return to your old ways, because there was magic in your old ways, pile one. With the Three of Pentacles, I'm hearing abandoned creativity. So creations and ideas you left behind, it's almost like you left behind your abundance. You turned your back on doors that were going to bring you to abundance, wealth, independence. You've been listening too much to outside noise when it comes to your path. And specifically, I keep getting like relationships. This could be a relationship to a new friend, a woman, specifically because we have Aphrodite, but it could be anyone really. Maybe someone with really charming Libra-esque energy, someone who is just like a lover. They're charming, they're mysterious, they're seductive, etc. This type of person has come into your life and they live a slightly different life. Their journey is slightly different, and maybe they're like inviting you on their journey, showing you how they do things, and you're thinking, oh, I love that for you, maybe I should try it as well, but you've steered too far from your path. Okay, so your next initiation that you need to be preparing for is returning home, returning to your spiritual home. Each card here connects to each card from the Oracle deck, which is super interesting. Let's get some underlying energies. I'm seeing aqua blue, aquamarine blue, you know, almost greenish. And I'm seeing like a compass. Oh, okay. This message came through, and I felt it in my chest and around my throat. Who do you want to speak to? Pile one. Who do you want to teach? Who do you want to speak to? Who do you think your soul came to talk to? Which group, which society, which part of society? Because Spirit is saying you've been trying to get to the wrong audience or group of people. You've been abandoning people from the past, or like the people you connected with in the past. Who do you want to speak to, pile 1? Because a teacher has a voice, but this voice is not meant to reach everyone. A teacher has words for certain people. A teacher has a voice for certain people. Every teacher is not meant for everyone. Ace of Pentacles, brilliance. The universe, it seems, is going to gift you with something really big once you come back to your old spiritual ways. I mean, we can always grow and evolve, but with you, it seems like you've just changed drastically and dramatically. So you will still bring new things to the table. So going back to your old ways doesn't mean de-evolving or something, or, you know. But you're going back to the essence of you. Oh, wow. Many cards fell to the floor. Let's take them. Okay. The universe has a big gift coming for you, pile 1. Some big door opening. Equanimity, 2 of crystals, or 2 of pentacles. Many pentacles, yes, I do think that a lot of this has affected your money, affected your abundance. The 2 of Pentacles I've always seen as contracts, trying to pick and choose between 2 things, trying to maintain 2 things when you should clearly give one thing up. The 2 of Pentacles, the lesson of the card or the dilemma is, where is my heart? Which thing am I holding out of greediness, not because I'm in love with this? So there is something that you will have to drop. 1 coin you will have to drop for the ace. In order to become an ace, you cannot be 2 of Pentacles. You have to be an ace. And we have the 10 of Wands underneath creativity, underneath the reversed Aphrodite. It seems like you've been exhausting yourself, running away from your creativity. Not making time for your creativity has been tiring you out. This phase of trying to be 2 people, trying to be at 2 places, or even more, for some of you, multitasking, this phase is ending with the 10 of Wands. It shows growth. The 10 of Wands usually shows someone who has been carrying a heavy load for too long, and it's time to drop it. There is no further way to go on this journey. You've grown, but you can walk away. Just because you've grown from something doesn't mean you have to stay there, because just because you've grown from something doesn't mean you will keep growing from that thing. And I think that you saw growth in something new, something different, and you really invested in it, but you really forgot a lot of your spiritual principles along the way. And this is when you stopped growing and you were like, what am I doing wrong? How do I fix it? But Athena is coming through with this huge like sword, and she's like, there's nothing to fix. This is not your fight. This is not a fight you were meant to go. This is not a battle you were meant to fight. Once you return home, the Ace of Pentacles, big door, big opportunity, big abundance, big creations, okay, are awaiting for you. So, pile 1. Okay, hold on. I was like, okay, I think that we're finished, but no. I'm noticing this floating crystal in the Two of Pentacles card, the Two of Crystals. And it almost looks like a spacecraft, a spaceship that has arrived. Some of you, it's okay to, in fact, it feels necessary to pay more attention to your earth origins. Wow, this is coming from a person with a YouTube channel named Liar and Lost Soul, but it's good for you to pay more attention to your earth origins, earth lifetimes, past lives. Because for some of you, I'm getting, you've always been drawn to earth. There's a reason why you came here. I'm almost getting this energy of you were from a different civilization when you first came to earth, when you first communicated with earth. But for your soul, earth is that special place in the universe. It's not somewhere out there. I'm having vision of blood and like symbolizing, origins, ancestors, and Athena is coming through with this message of you've bled here, you've fought battles to be here, to come here. So be here, ground yourself here, connect with this place. Don't try to detach from it. Many of you are in alignment with the development of your soul through our sun, our star. That's the sun that shines upon us every day, not some other star. Many of you may have like literal, ancestry from Egypt, from South America. I'm also getting the lens of gold, the lens that honored the sun. All right. This is all I have. Pile 1. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope you resonated. Let me know in the comment section below. As always, I am so thankful you watched until the end. You can support me by liking this video, sharing it with fellow spiritual friends, subscribing to the channel if by chance you haven't already, and just thank you for being here. All of my information is in the description box below. You can find where to book personal reading with me if you want. You can find where you can donate to the channel. So yeah, I just hope you enjoy this. I hope you enjoy your July, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Hello Pile 2, for all of you who chose the Tarot de Marseille. Let's see what Athena has for you. Okay. I'm seeing a shimmering rainbow dragon egg. It looks like a dragon's egg. It's huge. Okay. This is a symbol of inherited power, being the golden child. Many of you are favored children, maybe not necessarily by your parents, but I'm getting by spirit, by the universe. You have this power to be anything, literally anything. You could go in any direction when it comes to life, life paths. You could choose anything. You are chameleons, but you also breathe fire. You're also dragons. So you're not just chameleons who are afraid and they're playing small and they're hiding all the time. You're chameleons because you can really merge with any group of people. You can really match any vibe, match any energy, but still you hold this tremendous power. Eggs usually are symbolic of potential as well. Right, we have Hathor with reciprocity or reciprocity actually, yeah, that's a better fitting word. So I have written some notes on these decks. We have Uranus and Taurus, we have maternal, creative, expressive energy, we have Gate of Venus, okay, the Forgotten Caretaker, and Primordial Mother, okay. Some of you have inherited your power from your mother lineage, and maybe you've been ignoring your mother's lineage, maybe you've been favoring your father's lineage, maybe you've been even like just favoring characteristics that you assume you've inherited from your father, and the mother line feels forgotten and it wants you to remember it. This is very, very fitting with Athena's story because I think we know of her mother, but I think in the myth, I don't remember, so forgive me. I think in the myth, so Jupiter, Zeus, swallows something. He swallowed something or someone, I don't remember who or what. And then he gets these migraines and Athena is born out of his head. So she has a paternal origin, not a maternal origin. And it's interesting that the Forgotten Caretaker, the Primordial Mother, is coming through with Hathor because we all have maternal origin. There's no such thing as paternal origin, right? This happens only in myth and specifically European mythology. And it's almost like Athena is coming through with this message of, you know, I wonder who my mother is. You know, myths don't always tell us the full truth, right? So you have to wonder who your mother is, who your mother's lineage is, and what it represents, where they come from. Because this is where your power and your magic is found and located and waiting for you. We have Yemoja. In my native language, they translate it as Yemania. So I just wrote the English translation of the name. Here we have mother of fish, children. Interesting. My notes say Sirius, Mintaka. On the card it says golden opportunity. Right now, a very important door is opening before you. Go through it. We have Delphinus, the constellation, and we have infertility. Oh, this is so interesting. Maybe some of you have were carried by surrogate mothers. Maybe some of you, just had an unconventional way of being conceived. So what I'm getting is Athena is showing me how the connection with you and your mother, because in the womb, when the baby is in the womb, the mother, literally, her womb magnetizes the soul inside the body. That's the spiritual mechanics of the womb. And what I'm getting here is your soul was magnetized from a different womb or somehow just differently, and the connection with your mother's womb is weakened, but there is unexplored potential there. It's almost like there's a lot of magic and mystery coming from the mother's line. Many abilities. I don't know why I'm seeing like a scorpion, so many psychic abilities, many energetic manipulation abilities. But a lot of those abilities are latent within you. And there is maybe some unprocessed resentment around not being able to channel the abilities from your mother's line and having issues with the mother's line. Maybe you weren't your mother's first child. So there is this disconnection, okay? There is a weakening of the womb at the time you were conceived or something like this. You yourselves may have Moon in Scorpio, Moon conjunct Pluto, opposite Pluto, square Saturn, opposite Saturn. These placements usually indicate that the magic inherited from the mother's line is somehow blocked, and that usually makes you, knowingly or unknowingly, express more of your father's DNA, favor the father, etc. But you still carry your mother's karmic lessons, everything from her lineage. So Athena is showing me that many of you guys need to open your eyes. Maybe you've been trying to solve problems, but you've been looking in the wrong direction. If you have certain problems around manifestation, relationships, your magical practice, your businesses, they might come from blockages from the mother, not the father. Or maybe your mother has always been very abundant, someone who attracts abundance easily, and you're wondering, why can't I, do that as well? Why are we so different, me and my mom? And this is why I'm getting that there was something different about your conception, or about the abilities, the magic, the spirituality, the spiritual mechanisms of her womb at the time you were conceived. But I feel like that's why you guys are favored children by the universe. I'm almost getting like you were raised by a spiritual mother. For some of you, this could be Hathor, it could be Emoya, it could be Isis. You have a spiritual mother, and you've been receiving a lot from her. You've been embodying a lot of her. I'm almost getting the sense of your spiritual mother is trying to dominate over the expression of your biological father's karmic lessons, karma in general, and patterns. It's like your spiritual mothers are trying to cut your ties to the father's line. This is very intricate situation. But like these spiritual beings that have mothered you from the invisible realms, they're almost saying that you have never been an earthly child. You've always been special in that way, and you've always been meant for something really different from what was expected of you. So it feels like right now there is an opportunity for you to go on this path and express being special. And Athena is almost coming with this like emotion. Even if your father was all you knew, whether it was painful or a blessing, it's okay to let it go for now. It's okay to let it go for now, because it doesn't matter if a man is listening or a woman is watching this. You are disintegrating from your father's way of living life right now, and you're integrating more of your mother's way, and specifically more of your spiritual mother. A lot of you, I'm telling you, I'm sensing like you were parented by the gods themselves. You may have like really bright stars from constellations, right? Conjuncting your ascendant, your descendant, your sun, your moon, your 4th house, 10th house, like these big points in the natal chart. Those stars, those are your parents. And see what planet those stars are associated with, what gods and goddesses those stars are associated with. For example, if you have like Venus, we have the planet, right? If Venus conjuncts your rising, you've been raised by Ishtar, Isis, you've been raised by Aphrodite herself. Oshun, she's also an equivalent, or close to, and she is in the same line of like Venusian goddesses. So when I say you're a child of the divine, I mean it quite literally. You were raised by divine beings. And with Sirius, a lot of you have been raised by Syrian beings. You have a Syrian star family. You're on this journey right now of transcending your blood and living life from your spiritual origins, not your biological origins. We have the High Priestess, we have Dana or Sophia. I wrote a little note here. You have the sacred knowledge that can help you and help others through your spiritual teachings. Okay. It's very likely. Okay, so Athena is coming through saying that many of you will get education, certificates, recognition in fields that are so unexpected by your family, by friends even, by relatives. You will get the success and the recognition in fields that surprise others. Very niche, very unique fields. And for some, even if you got like quote unquote traditional education, you will not practice it in the traditional sense. And you're not meant to. And Athena is saying that you need to fight and work really hard and not give up on this unconventional journey that you're on. Because you are transcending your bloodlines, your biological bloodlines and ancestry. The veil right now is being lifted for many of you guys. Many truths are coming out, many epiphanies. And Athena is asking of you to not be afraid of the truth and to not be saddened by the truth. Even your teachers, for many of you, your teachers will come in spiritual form. They won't necessarily manifest in the material. They won't be teachers incarnated in flesh here. So many will misunderstand your journey. Many will try to distract you from your journey, push you off your path because they think they know better than you, but they don't. I'm seeing like forging things, working with metal specifically, I don't know why. So for some of you, Athena is like, if you're creating jewelry, things like that, these are divine feminine weapons. They carry magic, intentions. It's time to get serious about that. Many of you can craft like these otherworldly, beautiful things. They serve as these magical objects. Ace of Cups. Receptivity. Yes. You guys need to open yourselves up to receive blessings, divine opportunities, divine help. It's almost like Spirit wants to give you a hug and you need to open up to that. Six of Cups. Wow, this is talking about past lives, soulmates, memories, the astral plane, traveling through the astral plane. Your physical vessels, pile two, excuse me, are being prepared to travel, to go places, to go to these spiritual realms, spiritual places, and do work and retain the memories of that. For those of you who connect with Sirius specifically, I'm hearing engineers of sound. So you can be musicians, you can be really connected to music. I'm getting like lifetimes where you would engineer the very frequency of different sound, and sound will carry healing properties, enhancing properties, like different sounds and music for you. In those past lives on Sirius would have like, they would do different things, they would have different properties. I'm not finding a different word, but properties, so excuse me for repeating it so much. But this is something I'm seeing, and Spirit is saying that many of you have to remember those spiritual past lives, because you're a divine child and you're here to live a divine path. It can be a creative path, it can be a scientific path, but you will come from a very otherworldly understanding and outlook on reality, and that will be the driving motivation behind what you do, and that's what will make what you do so unique. I'm hearing a lot of you guys are attracting your soul tribe. You're attracting your soul tribe, especially those of you who do music, those of you who are creating jewelry or something out of metal. I'm getting like, I don't know, molding metal in different shapes. You're attracting the right people for you. Some of you might be literally forging weapons. Okay. And I'm getting something specifically about learning the different occult meanings of different metals, and maybe if you encrust a little crystal in the handle of a sword or something, learn what that crystal symbolizes as well. I'm getting that whatever you are creating with your hands, it will bring a certain energy to the owner you give it to. It will manifest things in their life. So it's like your mind, your soul, your heart are traveling the spiritual planes, and for some of you, you will be learning this information. Oh, this crystal is for this and for that, or these herbs, these metals, etc. You will learn this information from spiritual travels, from astral travels, from channeling. It won't necessarily come from textbooks. And it's the same with music, for those of you who create music. Four of Cups. Wow, so many cups. Okay. The Four of Cups usually shows us being bored with something, being displeased, dissatisfied. We are rejecting the offers of the universe. That's why you have this card with receptivity. Some of you need to not reject necessarily, but turn your back a little bit on your father line and the expectations there and the patterns from the father line, and just the whole, anything that you associate to be some form of a power from the father line. Turn your back on this, because you've been kind of becoming numb to spiritual offerings that do not come from this bloodline, and they come from your guides and from your spiritual parents. You've been almost like rejecting your spiritual parents, perhaps because there's been this desire to be more connected to the biological parents. That's why Spirit is saying, and like Athena is coming through with this message of it's okay to accept divine origins. It will create a different kind of alchemy in your body. You've been refusing an alchemical process that has been calling for you. The Death card. Alchemy, I'm telling you, transformation. To some degree it will be a death to your ego, right? To give up certain patterns and characteristics and associations with the biological parents. 8 of Wands, okay. Communion with the gods, communication from above, from the divine. This is Mercury in Sagittarius after all. Channeling philosophy. And we have the Temperance, again another alchemical card, a card related to Sagittarius. Very, very interesting. The Temperance card is often called the art because it's an art to go through this alchemical process. This will happen in stages for you. But I'm hearing that you will receive messages from the divine, answers to your questions, and you might doubt them at first, but this will keep coming through in little doses until you can see the full picture. And I feel like it's already been coming through. You gotta be more receptive and accepting with these truths that are coming through. Well, pile 2, I think that's all I have for you guys. I'm trying to see if there's anything else in the tarot cards, but I'm not getting anything else. So yeah, I think that's all I have for you from Athena, as well as your spirit team. I feel like she was just here to crack the door open for your spirit team to come through. So we got some other spiritual beings coming through as well. I hope you resonated with this. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below. As always, thank you so much for watching this. You can support me by liking this video, sharing it with fellow spiritual friends, subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and all of my information is in the description box below, where you can book a reading with me, a personal one, where you can donate if you wish to support me in that way. And I hope to see you in my next video as well. So until then, pile 2. Bye. Hello pile 3, welcome to your reading if you chose the Cosmic Slumber Tarot in this beautiful, gorgeous box. So first we're pulling some oracle cards. Let's see what Athena has to tell to you. Pile 3. Pile 3. Alright, pile 3, I am picking up on a wolf's energy. I'm getting like hunting energy. Probably in the collective message, the attacking arrow, the sharp arrow, the traditional arrow that I spoke of, out of the two, was your arrow, guys. For you, it seems like you're hunting down something, you're going after something really ferociously. What does Athena want to tell you? We have Lakshmi with bright future. Do not worry, everything will turn out okay. Oh, okay. You guys are worried because you're soon about to enter some sort of battle, is what I'm getting. Athena is saying basically that you will come out victorious. Maybe you're entering a competition, literal or figurative. Someone is trying to compete with you. You will be the one who wins this. We have Ostara with fertility. If someone is competing like who's gonna make more money or who's gonna get more praises on their piece of art or whatever, if you're competing about numbers or amounts, because we have fertility here, it's likely that you have more numbers backing you up, more people backing you up, more productive results of your labor backing you up. Okay. And we have Artemis. She is a protectress. She is a hunter too. You and your loved ones are protected and you have are safe and you have spiritual protection. Interesting that in my vision with the wolf, not only I saw you as a wolf, but I also saw you as a hunter, a human against the wolf. And Athena was emphasizing how, the wolf is scary. It has teeth and claws and it's strong, but you're smart. Your humanity, gives you intelligence. So here I'm not going to debate the intelligence of animals. They are all intelligent. It's just different. But what Athena is talking about here is strategy. If you want to win this, you gotta strategize. Pile 3. It seems like you will win. You will come out victorious of this battle. But Athena is emphasizing to use a good strategy. She's saying that your planning needs to be longer than the battle itself. How you plan and prepare for the battle, or whatever the situation is, right? The battle is just a metaphor for the situation you're going into. The planning and the preparing needs to be much longer than the execution. Okay? So she's saying invest energy, time and effort into the preparations of something, the planning of something. Imagine you're writing a book. You want to plan the plot before you sit down writing. You can get vague ideas out, but you want a structure. And that's what she's talking about in this competition or whatever this is. For many of you, I'm almost getting like a collective business, maybe a family business. And maybe there are people in your life that are thinking, oh, these family businesses, they never work or something. Or they hope this family business doesn't work. That's why you and your loved ones are safe. If you're having like a family business, this is being protected from evil eye. A lot of you are meant to be protectors of the weak. So maybe your work involves somehow helping those who are at a disadvantage, socially, economically, for whatever reasons, right? Because I'm noticing how Artemis is defending the deer. She's not hunting the deer, and there's a fire lit up here as well. This fire energy is almost like transmutation here. Ostara is feeding the rabbits. The rabbits are no hunters. She's feeding the rabbits. And here I feel like you were protected once. Now you are transforming and you are extending your protection to others. My cat just woke up, so you may hear noises. He woke up for pile 1, went back into his cave, as I like to call it, and now he's out again. Let's see. Pile 3, messages from Athena. So a lot of like animals are showing up, right? I think animals can be your supporters at this time. You can tune into the animal world. Maybe you will get a lot of signs from animals. Maybe you should work with animals, sacred animal totems, bring them to your altar. Okay, give me a quick second to let him out of the room. Alright, cat is out. I just knew that he wouldn't leave me alone until I opened the door for him. So, since I kind of lost my train of thought, we're just gonna get fresh messages. What does Athena want to share with you? Pile 3. A lot of what you do now will pay off in the future. You have to be patient right now, and you have to protect what you're planting. Okay, so she's showing me again the head. So the intelligence about the battle strategy that I mentioned, the metaphor, she's not just showing me the head and the intelligence for this, she's also showing me, do not let other people plant seeds of doubt and fear in your mind, because right now your mind is a garden that will dictate what your future looks like. So if you allow people to plant their own stuff, their own thoughts in it, it can spoil your future, it can corrupt it, so don't let them. The tower, yes, absolutely. Look at this, look at these hands that are picking the tower apart. Literally, it feels like someone, or maybe a couple of people, if you fail at something, you would go back to them, and they are waiting for this, and everybody wants a piece of you, and they hope you fail because this way they will get these pieces of you. So Athena is like, no, you're not gonna give them those pieces of you. You're going to give all of your energy to your garden, to your future. So here the tower, whoops, wow, okay, we have a King of Cups coming out in a very interesting way. So here the tower is not so much about something falling apart or something like this. It's more so about other people's energy. Is almost like wolves ready to pounce once you fail at something and ready to take their piece of meat from you. We have the King of Cups. This is a medium, this is an artist, and this is someone who has a psychic ability, a sense for the future. You guys will get visions Do not doubt these visions. These visions can be what your future would look like if you give up and what your future would look like if you don't give up. And these visions are very, very accurate. Five of Swords. I am telling you, oh my god, other people are kind of expecting you or waiting for you to fail. So Athena is coming through with really strong like confidence and motivation that you do not prove them right. The Judgment card. Six of Wands. Your thoughts right now will become a self-fulfilling prophecy, so watch out. The thoughts in your head, the seeds that you're planting. Six of Wands, this is about public recognition, and I told you I think you will have that with Bright Future, with Lakshmi. You will have public recognition, you will win something. I can see it very, very clearly. You are winning something here. Oh, okay, hold on. Wow, the cards just fell in my lap though, this time not on the floor. The King of Cups. You know, for many of you, the key to your success is rising above some kind of addiction. It could be on a smaller or a bigger scale, but you're healing from something like this. And I feel like people are waiting for you to relapse into something. It could be just addiction to procrastination, you know, it doesn't have to be something really serious. It's almost like people are thinking, oh yeah, they promised last time that they're never gonna do that again, or that they have changed and then they didn't. I don't believe them. Like people are kind of waiting for your fall because they want to be right, not because necessarily they want you to fall, but because they want to be right. Okay, I sneezed. I usually take sneezing as a sign of someone talking about me or something like that. So now that I sneezed in your reading, I feel like people are definitely talking about something new you're starting, some new beginning that seems very bright, you're very motivated, and they're like, when is pile 3 going to fail? And you guys, you need to work with Athena, you need to grab that hunting arrow, you need to grab your weapons for battle, and just, you're not gonna surrender this time to what's easy, to old habits. You're not gonna surrender to your old patterns, please, because you're not supposed to prove them right this time. Everyone who's waiting for this tower. And this is your judgment, you know? This is like your, okay, this is one last final trial. If you really don't do it this time, it's like, from now on, it's gonna just become more and more difficult, because whenever we don't act on our promises, it becomes easier and easier to not keep our promises to ourselves in the future. But this discipline, this willpower, it's like a muscle. You strengthen it the more you practice it. So it feels like this time around, you're changing, planting a new garden in your mind, planning a new future for yourself. It feels like this is a very, what's the word, predicament? No, I'm not sure if that's the word. This is a very deciding cycle, and if you don't slip back into the old habits and into old patterns, if you pass this cycle successfully, it's going to become easier from here on now to keep your promises, remain disciplined, keep planting this beautiful garden. This is like the cycle that will tell and decide how it's going to be from now on. You have the Ace of Cups here. It's almost like we're zooming on the hand of the King of Cups, and you know, there's a fish in the cup here, but actually, oh, it's actually a woman. So this is about zooming on some dream. You imagined that it's gonna be one thing or it's gonna happen one way, but now Spirit is showing you that it's gonna happen a little differently, but it's worth it. You should still accept it. The Hanged One, or the Hanged Man, and Four of Cups. You guys are waiting and listening around. You're trying to pick up on the noise. What are other people thinking? What are other people saying? Athena is saying that you should stop defining your success based off what other people say about you, because I already told you what others think when they hear about your plans. So stop sharing your plans with people first of all. Second of all, with the Ace of Cups, now that I told you, it's like you're zooming in on an expectation, on a dream, on a goal, and now that you've zoomed in, you see it a bit clearer, and you realize, oh, it's not gonna happen how I planned it. That might be like the threshold, the test, if you will. Are you still going to commit to your goals and plans even if they don't happen exactly how you imagined it? Or are you gonna think, oh, it's not how I imagined it, I'm not sure if I like this or not, it's gonna be more difficult than I expected, I'm giving up? Do not give up. Athena is like, you gotta put up a fight, and even if things are not how you imagined them to be, you gotta prove that you want it. You gotta prove that you're ready. That's why you guys have the Hanged Man. This is a test. Are you going to be flexible and change your perspective and accept change and accept something different than your expectations and accept to truly fight for something? Because it's easy when things are easy. But it's real when we go through things, even if it's hard. You really want something, you're really fighting for something, you really earn something truly if you fought for it even when it was hard. And this is specifically about a goal, a dream, a vision. The universe is like, I'm gonna give you that outcome, but the way you get there is not how you thought you were gonna get there. And your spiritual initiation that you're going through right now is the road has changed, the path has shifted. It's almost like you thought you're gonna go through the peaceful, lovely forest, but the universe is like, nope. If you want to get that future, you gotta go through the dark woods, and there are wolves in there and all sorts of beasts, so you gotta go prepared. If this is a family business, perhaps in the past you didn't dare to speak your opinion, you wanted to agree with everyone, and that's why the business failed. Now Spirit is like, you have to speak what you truly believe about this situation. You have to switch up your ways, pile 3, if you want to win. You're protected to really, how do I say? It's like you're protected from external forces. You have the freedom to change, to switch lanes. You're protected while you're making those changes. So, pile 3, I think this is all I have for you guys. Not much else I think is coming through, so I'm gonna end it here. I hope you resonated with your reading. Let me know in the comment section below. And thank you so much for watching this until the end. If you want to support me, like, share, and subscribe. This always helps so much. And yeah, thank you for just being here. I hope I'll see you in my next video as well. All of my information is in the description box. Until next time.